Hi, welcome to or back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Lotti. I do cozy content here on YouTube, but today I wanted to do something else because why not? If you clicked on this video, chances are high that just like me, you struggle with journaling. I keep trying to get back into the habit of journaling because I like the effects of it. And we don't need to talk about all the positive effects here. What we are talking about in this video is how to make journaling easier. I found some ways that are very helpful for me, so I thought why not share them. I hope you enjoy these. Let's get into it. I have to start with one of my favorite ways to journal, the brain dump. The goal of this method really is to get all the thoughts in my head out on paper. So instead of opening a blank page and writing in text form, I just dump everything I have in my brain onto the paper without judgment, without it needing to be pretty or anything. So if something is bothering me, for example, at work, I don't want to have to write a whole sentence like this is bothering me at work because blah, blah, blah. Sometimes it's easier to just write down work, colleague XY, feeling unmotivated. Sometimes I'll leave it like this. Sometimes I take a pen and I will draw little hearts at the topics that I like, that I enjoy, that I love, that I'm grateful for, and little lightnings at the points I want to change something about. In a nutshell, this method really helps me to get going, to get my thoughts out on paper. Maybe you want to try it. Okay, so the next journaling method that I like is to use a guided journal. I'm sure this is nothing new for you. These journals have little sections or prompts so that you don't have to think about, oh, what am I going to write now? But you can just, they guide you through the journaling process, which makes it easier for me. Most of them have this little section saying, what are you grateful for? That's really good to practice gratitude. So I enjoy that. My tip would be to really do some research. Each guided journal is different. And let's be honest, of course, it also helps if the design is cute. So what I typically do is I lay this guided journal on the table where I have breakfast in the morning. I will sit down here and I will have this guided journal with a pen on top already waiting for me, and that makes it so much easier for me to remember. For some of you, it might be more beneficial to journal in the evening, so then it would be a good idea to take this and put it next to your bed, somewhere where you will see it and it will remind you to write down your thoughts. Okay, the next method is to take my tarot cards, hear me out, not prognose my future or anything like that. The tarot cards hold wisdoms. So it's 78 cards and each of the cards hold a little wisdom. Those wisdoms are really beautiful, really universal kind of wisdoms. Something like don't suppress your emotions, something like you have to let go in order to move on. Really beautiful wisdoms. So I like to invite the element of chance. So I will shuffle the cards and I will choose a card intuitively. And the first thing I do is just look at it and see if it reminds me of anything that is happening in my life right now. For example, in this card, I really see strength. I see the quality of knowing what I want to do. He knows what he wants to do and he's strongly convinced about the path he wants to pursue. And that inspires me to write. It inspires me to write down what is that one thing deep inside of me that I really want to pursue in life. The next step is that I will read about the meaning of the card. This one is the King of Wands. King of Wands. And I can read you a little bit of it. This fiery guy, he's a charismatic and natural-born leader whose vitality emanates through his laughter and his obsession with a life well lived. The King of Wands calls you to unleash that offbeat weirdo that you've got inside and be absolutely unapologetic in your pursuit. Passionate and heart-fueled, we built this empire of light together. And now that I have like my own kind of interpretation of the card and the actual meaning of the card, I'll take my journal and just write down about this quality of life, about this wisdom. And yeah, I find this very powerful, very inspirational, my absolute favorite method to journal, because unlike the other methods, this method really helps me to spark some new ideas. You know how we always tell ourselves the same stories over and over in our head. So this is a way for me to stir up the pot a little bit. I love this method. So the next method is basically the same like the one with the tarot cards, just with books. Whatever books you have lying around at home that inspire you, take them, use them to help you journal. I take a book and I open a random page in this book and I will read it. I will read the page and refer whatever's going on in this chapter of the book to my own life and see if there are any similarities to myself and what I can maybe learn about it, or what qualities I can reflect on myself, my own life, maybe a situation I have going on that I struggle with or that I need a new perspective on. So books I like to use for this are mainly philosophical books or religious books, whatever religion you are most drawn towards. Use it to inspire your journaling. I personally like to read about Buddhism. I just love all the kindness. I like to reflect on my life. Like, am I being kind to myself? Am I being kind to others? Any self-help books, but it could also be your current favorite book. This, for example, is a book that I read lately, a romantasy book. I like to go back to certain chapters in this book that really spoke to me, to my soul, and write about them. And maybe after this video, go take a look at your bookshelf and yeah, just grab some books that you think might be inspiring and might be able to lead your next journaling session.
Our hearts beat to the city streets. We began to feel the fire.
So these were the ways that I like to make journaling easier for myself. I really hope there is one or the other idea that you can take, but I really want to encourage you to make it your own. For me, it's helpful to use books, to use a guided book, but what is helpful for you? Journaling is so intimate and so unique to each of us. So I really encourage you to think about what are ways that you can make journaling for yourself easier in a way that suits you. Thank you so much for watching, and I see you in the next one. Bye!
We're gonna be two hearts running wild.